Welcome to Student Connections, where students connect with their community.
Hello and welcome to Student Connections on M6, your hometown station. I'm Peyton Byers, and I'm joined with Mr. Smith from the Marysville High School Robotics team. Thanks for joining me today, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
So, we all saw the teaser for this year's game, Steamworks. How do you think it's going to compare to last year's game, Stronghold?
It's kind of hard to tell because the program that we work with called First Robotics is pretty notorious for giving us very vague teasers and very vague, little snippets of what's going to be happening this year. So it's kind of hard. There's a lot of guessing going on, but we really do not know what to expect for this year.
Well, we know that sometimes the games require the robots to be in contact. You have to have bumpers on. Are you and the team hoping to have a contact game or not this year?
Well, we already know one of the teasers, or one of the pieces that was released, was the fact that there are bumpers this year, which mean the robots will be in contact with each other. So we already know that part.
We're aware that the robotics team had a restructuring. You had different divisions in the team reordered and reorganized this year. And do you think it's had a positive effect so far?
We're restructuring, getting people more focused in particular areas that we haven't done before. And so we're trying to create an atmosphere where multiple things are happening at one time, so it's not one step after another. We got different things happening and trying to accomplish a lot more in a shorter time.
We know that last year, the high school team, the Vibots, they made it all the way to Worlds in St. Louis. Do you think that the team is capable of making it again this year?
I believe the team is capable. We'll have to see what's going to be happening with the actual game, what we actually build this year, and how it compares to other teams, because that's the variable that we just don't know what other teams are going to be able to do yet. So we'll see what that happens with that.
All right. So we're aware that the First Robotics program is beloved by engineering programs from colleges all across the country. Have students from the Marysville High School robotics team gone on to colleges that support FRC?
And we've had a number in our 3 years that we've been here at Marysville High School. We've had a number of students who have gone to Kettering. They've gone to Michigan Tech up in the UP. Had students to Lawrence Tech down in Southfield. So we've had some students who are getting out there and pursuing engineering as a career. And some of them have actually increased their desire through our program.
It's amazing to hear things like that. We'll be right back after a short break. Be sure to stay tuned on M6, your hometown station.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
Welcome back to Student Connections on M6, your hometown station. We've been talking to Mr. John Smith, head of the MHS robotics team. So, Mr. Smith, the robotics program is a huge commitment, especially commitment of time. About how much time a week do you really spend on the robotics program?
When our season is in full swing, which starts in January, my wife has compared it to being a robotic widow, because we spend so much time between school and go home for an hour and come back for 4 more hours every night, and then majority of the time on Saturday and on Sunday. So I'm gone quite a while as part of this program.
Think it's had any large impact on your life?
The only impact that I can see now is that my wife has gotten bit by the bug, and now she's starting up her own robotics team too. So it's had a positive effect, I believe.
So the term gracious professionalism is often used in regards to the FRC program and its teams. Could you go in depth or explain what it means?
Gracious professionalism is a term that's been coined by First Robotics as one of the key components of the whole program. And the whole idea behind it is to create an atmosphere of not only competition between teams, but making sure that all the teams are working with each other and for each other to make sure that everybody is successful no matter what, whether it's their robot, their team structure, and student involvement. It's really there to really make sure that students are participating and have the best opportunity to participate that they can.
In what sort of ways do you think that the robotics program as a whole, not just here, but everywhere that there are teams from FRC, what way do you think that it positively affects the students who take part in it?
What's been nice with us is we find it's a program where everybody can be successful. And you don't have to have a natural talent to participate. It's the effort and the willingness for you to learn is one of the biggest components. So if you have those key pieces, you can be successful in this program and go on and continue that as your career if you'd like.
So the middle school, they have their own robotics program now. They're the junior Vibots.
Mm-hmm.
How have things been going for them as a team?
Well, they're in their third year, and they're doing really well. They've actually gone from one team to two teams, so they've had the interest in that level has increased, and they've had to form two teams to be able to satisfy that interest. And so they're looking up. Their first competition is coming up here pretty soon, and they're very prepared for this year. It's looking really well for them.
Have you thought about starting a team in the elementary schools? Has anybody thought about trying to get a robotics program going?
Well, as I said, my wife has gotten bit by the robotics bug, and this year she actually started two teams because they had enough interest at Morton Elementary School to be able to form two teams. So their competition's coming up really, really soon too, and they're very excited and they're very well prepared too.
Is that just in Morton, or do they have access from the other two elementary schools too?
At this point, it's only Morton, but we're hoping that will increase in the years to come.
So, we're aware that Marysville is in the Blue Water Area Robotics Alliance, or BWARA. What other teams are part of this group, and what sort of purpose does it serve? What's the point of it?
Well, BWARA, the Blue Water Area Robotic Alliance, is a group of robotics teams from the Blue Water area that have gotten together in the effort to be able to support each other, to work with each other, and promote STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, in our area, in our region. And when our team formed 4 years ago, there was only 6 teams in the area, and now, we now have 11 teams. So our high school level teams have actually grown in the last number of years.
Well, I'd like to thank you again for joining us, Mr. Smith, here on M6.
Welcome.
And I personally, and everybody here from the M6 program, would like to wish you good luck on this year's robotics season.
Thank you.
I'm Peyton Byers. Thank you for joining us. This has been Student Connections on M6, your hometown station.